much as you have freedom, freedom is not free. It's simply a slogan that means that in the enjoyment of your rights, in the enjoyment of your freedoms, you actually could be infringing on another person's rights. And if you are going to communicate information which is defamatory, you are going to post people's privacy online, then you are infringing on someone else's rights. So freedom is not free per se, but it's enjoyed within the confinements of the stipulated laws. Yes, online child protection is a drive which the Uganda Police, together with other stakeholders like NITA, that is the National Information Technology Authority, the Ministry of ICT, together with the UK government, that is the Internet Watch Foundation, came together and developed a portal. It's a website where people can report cases where children are being abused online, where they are being sexually harassed online. And even we're working together with UNICEF to ensure that we put up this platform to encourage people to report such cases, because we've had instances where children have been exploited online. Now, if you do a study and you look at almost all sites, most of the pornographic sites, they are tended towards the female gender. Now, it's unfortunate, with due respect, that women, some of them have been exploited. Now, where they have reported cases, we've handled cases, myself personally, where I've handled a case of one prominent person whose photo was posted on Facebook. And the challenge here is that sometimes the perpetrators may not leave any credible evidence. Because when you see a photo on Facebook, it is not the person, but it is a computer which is speaking. It may not even be the actual person. It may be a photoed kind of image, a doctored image. So what we always encourage such people is, we tell them first and foremost is to keep in touch if they can lure such people to provide information that would help the police in their investigation. In some of the cases, we have obtained phone numbers, we have obtained Facebook communication of friends of such accounts who have actually given us real-time information, and we have apprehended such people. The challenge is, during prosecution, the women again prefer privacy, because in prosecution you have to bring out the actual matter that occurred. So for private matters, again, they prefer not to go in court because of their nudity being exposed here and there. So what we encourage is being safe online, clicking safe online. But with such cases, when they come about, we also communicate to social media houses like Facebook, where they have a page, facebook.com/records. And if you have a law enforcement email, Facebook will try to assist you with other partners. Either they will put down that URL, they may not provide you extra information in terms of the IP address, but you will have mitigated the problem therein. It's something beyond only Uganda. It's not just a problem of the Uganda police. It's a problem that we are all facing as long as we go online. We are vulnerable to such defamations. So there's what we call digital footprinting, in that you can draw backwards as a forensic investigator to establish the time. Exactly, if the complainant or the victim can tell you at what time they last did something, at what time they suspect that their account was compromised or their Facebook was compromised, then we draw back. We look at logs. If it was for a phone, we will issue a court order to the service provider or the telecom company, which is mandated to keep what we call call records. In the call records, they store important information like who is calling who, what time, and then they have what we call a base station information, which tells you where the probable person is calling from. But what is very important for the investigator is what we call the IMEI. That is the International Mobile Equipment Identifier. Now, for our phones, for our smart devices, they have IMEI. For our emails, they have an IP address. So if such information is got, and of course it depends on how complex the case you are dealing with. Some cases are very complex that people will use what we call proxy emails. Proxy emails, they will hide their identity. So in such instances, you need another support tool to assist you. But where the police has been able to do it, they have been able to handle such matters. Where it's complex, we again have to engage the international community to come in and support. But I still emphasize that the best method still is proactive policy, informing people of how to be safe and how to protect their information while they are on the internet. In the area of cyber crime investigation, one of the greatest challenges is that it has no borders. If you're looking at a typical scene of crime where there's been a murder or a break-in in a house, you'd localize the scene of crime at that house and you'd cordon off such an area, bring scenes of crime officers, and they pick relevant evidence. For cybercrime, someone could be in one country, commits a crime in another country, and the evidence is in another country. Now, you cannot respond immediately like that. So, because it's wide and beyond the scope, sometimes it's challenging to control the extent of the scene of crime. Different laws in different countries affect, because what you term as crime here may not be crime in another country. So, in certain instances, you will not fail to take on. You will have a challenge with taking on with the case. Another challenge, of course, is delays, because this type of investigation involves making requests to the big data. I call it the big owners of data. Facebook, Yahoo, Gmail, Western Union. We've had cases where people's money has been intercepted because someone has got the MT number, that is the mobile transfer number. In such instances, you have to make requests. Now, sometimes those requests may take for good. And if a request delays, you may get a compromise in the evidence. And of course, cybercrime has digital evidence which is volatile. Volatility of evidence makes sometimes challenging for you to put the pieces together. So you have to rely on other corroborative evidence. Another recommendation I would give for really internet freedoms in Africa is for us to try to merge or to have what we call block regulations. Like in East Africa now, we are going the East African community. In such instances where in one country someone's right is being infringed, in another country it's free, when these countries sit together, you'll find that it will develop what we call a mutual platform for us to communicate. So if we have those blocks, SADC, Common, and the rest, we will come together. And what governs freedoms is the regulation. And also if we can have more training and more workshops and more awareness to people, then I believe we can be able to promote internet freedoms in Africa.